Morning and welcome back to K&L Farms. I'm Ken. Going to have a little bit of subject matter around the chicken coop here in a little bit, but first I got a little bit of a rant, and I don't want you to think that I'm not appreciative on the comments in below, as long as they're civil. I try and answer all the comments that I get down in below the description, and later on I'll show you some products that I bought for the chicken coop, which I think were helping. I'll show you kind of the difference between a cheap one and an expensive one. But the rant is that I got a comment the other day, and it said, get out of the Stone Age and accept technology. No thank you. Remember, I was in '81, I was on an aircraft carrier carrying a flag overseas. So I was raised before '80s, before technology, before the cell phone, before internet, before the computers. And if you want me to accept the fact that prior to me going in the service, we kind of knew what a boy and a girl were. Currently, there seems to be some frustration or some inability to recognize a man from a woman, which my family, my homestead, we're not going to accept that. Until my dying day, we're not going to go change. You trying to force your morality on me, I'm not accepting. So I'll give you two examples that that I think is worse now than when I was raised. One is the fact that every waking hour, I'm getting some information, which the new phrase, or a phrase I heard lately, which will describe it very well, is you're uninformed if you're not watching the news, and if you're watching the news, you're misinformed. Prior to me going into the service, if somebody was on the television, or it was only television back then, they had to actually say something that had some validity and that it was actually true. Now it's whatever they want to project, whatever image they want to project, that you need to accept. Again, not for my family, not for my homestead, hopefully not for my viewing audience. That was one of the things that's significantly different from when I was raised to now, is that all the information being projected has some. Now, I'm not saying they're lying to you. I'm saying they're skewing the information, or they only project the information that they morally accept. News should be that this is the way it is, and I'll give you an example. You got a law, constitutional law. You go down to some states and no, we don't accept it. It's been in for the beginning of time, or we want to pick out a piece of the constitutional law that says that, or we're not accepting, so we're going to change that. It goes to a federal judge. Federal judge says, no, that's against the Constitution. Goes to another set of judges. Oh, that is that is acceptable. Goes to a different set of judges. So it's tied up in court for 5 years, 10 years, arguing over something that has been known to the general population for years. How that got in place, I don't know, but I don't accept it. That was number one. Number two is that, in fact, that the attention span of society last year lost 8 seconds. Just because nobody wants to watch or see anything, because it's all being lied to. And so we're going to move on here in a little bit. I'm going to show you what I did wrong and what I did right on this chicken coop. You can see chickens around me. I'll probably scroll down and show you chickens feeding below me. And then what I did right, what I did wrong on this chicken coop, because I've got an issue that I'm trying to resolve right now. So let me scroll around. Probably show that new cat. There's a new cat right next to just out of frame, and these chickens, and then I'll show you the issue that I'm having inside this chicken coop. But and I'll get back to you in just a minute. Okay, so some of the things that I did correctly is I powered it. I put power into it. I put 110 into it. I got a little chicken light inside there. That's what I call a chicken light, which I'll show you an example here. I'll have to go off the frame and show you an example. But okay, this is an extra one, and when I was a kid, that we always called them chicken lights. Mine doesn't actually have heat lamps in it. They just have a standard light bulb in it. I don't run a heat lamp. Now, when I'm doing the nursery for the chicks, the baby chicks, I put a heat lamp in it, but normally I don't run a heat lamp in it. And I remember when I was a kid being $9.99. And last time when I went to buy these, maybe 2 years ago, man, they got terribly expensive. I was trying to figure out why they got so expensive. So I went to researching, and the ones that I used to buy, this is plastic. I don't know if you can see it on the camera very well. I'll bring it up where you can see it. This portion is plastic. Now on this one I have, or the ones I purchased now, they're actually a different material. They're not a plastic material. So this is an insulator type thing. And what happened is I was buying the cheap ones because I was cheap, and the plastic ones are more apt to catch fire than these ones. They look like used to run these insulator on for electric fences, but this is a better quality of heat lamp and less prone to fire, so I went to this better grade, and I'll link this in the description here on the bottom of the video, and then I'll show you some more things. But this is one thing I did correctly, and then the other thing I did correctly, because where I live, we could go probably a month without it being above 32 degrees or freezing. And so inside this chicken coop, with the 110 I have in the chicken coop, I have a heated dog dish, which I'll link in the description. And what happens is when I turn the power onto this through a light, there's a light next door, which you can't see on the frame, but if the light's on and I'm in the main house, which the main house is approximately 200 feet away, if I'm in the main house and that light's on, this porch light that's for the main barn's on, then I know that heater is on, or that dog dish is on, and it'll thaw the water out, because a lot of new homesteaders or farmers, they don't realize the importance of water for your animal, for all your animals. Clean, fresh water is just as important as food is. So I make sure that their dish is filled up every day, and if it's frozen, I'll switch that switch on, let that heat up, melt, so that all the chickens can get a drink. Now, that applies to all your animals, all your domestic animals. They need clean, fresh water, and if it's froze up, they can't drink it. So you're basically domestic animals the same as you. You can go about 3 days without water. Same thing with your domestic animals, and that's what I did. That's why I did the dog dish. Now this is just a source of heat, this is artificial light, not heat, in the chicken coop, because they're pretty well sealed up in that coop. But they say, which I don't do very often, they say in order for your chickens to I just had a chicken. Oh, see, it's that cat. That chicken got scared of that cat. But in order for your chickens to keep laying at the same level, artificial light. Put some artificial light, and a chicken needs about 12 hours of artificial light. But it also says it stresses the chicken. What I've researched, it stresses the chicken, so I don't normally do that. And right now, as we move on in the video, you're going to see that I can't actually tell. I can't tell if it's the light or the food or the what I think it is. What I think it is my chickens have been laying for about a year, and they went through molting. They all molted. They all got new feathers type thing, and their shells got extremely soft. Now I'll put a picture of the current nest box I have. Now, I built 5 nest boxes thinking that they would utilize it. They don't. They all use the same nest boxes. So I bought a product off Amazon, which I'll assemble in the video, and I'll put it in the nest box. If it'll fit, that will try and resolve that issue, so that I can actually go back and figure out, okay, Is it the chickens pecking the eggs? Do I have a predator involved in the chicken house? Is it the feed? Is it them not getting enough light? All those things I can start rationalizing after I get this new box built. But another thing I did correctly was, see the wheelbarrow? Height of the door, I'm going to clean that out for the winter, because here shortly, maybe I've probably got maybe 20 days before I get significant snow. I won't be able to move the wheelbarrow back and forth. So I'm going to wheelbarrow that, attempt to clean some of that out, put new bedding in for the winter time. Okay, so you've seen the example of what was happening. This is what I bought, and what it is the eggs are supposed to roll down in this chute. Got a little lid on it, gets it away from the chickens, and how I'm going to put it in there, and now I assembled it. Wasn't no big deal. Took just a few minutes to assemble. And I'm trying to get it inside of this box right here. It won't fit through that lid, but it'll definitely fit through if I come in here and put it in like this. It fits good in there. In fact, I'll probably get a screw. It came with a screw. I'll probably screw that in a little bit. The other thing I was going to tell you, I got to go off frame for a minute. Don't go buy you a stainless steel or galvanized scoop. 1 gallon milk container. Actually, this is not actually milk, but almond milk. Granddaughter, lactose intolerant, but so we get these pretty regular. Cut the top off. Recycled. Actually, that's a perfect feed container. It has been for me so far. Now you kind of go through them because the grandkids, their chores are supposed to be feed the chickens. They don't do it as regular as I like it, but they will. But so they'll lose these, and so I just go in the refrigerator and get done with one of these instead of throwing it in the trash. Cut the bottom off, keep the lid, because if you don't keep the lid. One time I had a granddaughter take the lid off, went to the scoop bucket, took the scoop bucket, picked it up, feed on the ground, sweep the feed back up, that type of thing. Make sure you keep the lid. Okay, so that's kind of what I had going on for today, for this video. Oh, and if you like the content, if you like this, I'll leave a couple more. You'll see a couple more videos. You can go and watch those if you'd like. And thank you, and have a good day.